Hey, Thomas Westbrook here, and you're watching Atheist Edge.
We're still at the 2019 Metroplex Atheist Solstice Party. It's winding down now. I've got another guest today, and I already forgot you, Jason Kelly.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
First time I ever met you. We are going to play rapid fire. It might not even be religion questions. First off, you're at an atheist party. You've been in a...
This is my very first major atheist social event.
Really?
Yes.
You are an atheist?
Yes.
How long have you been one?
My entire life.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We already talked. See, I already forgot. I've been mingling with so many people. We're both cradle atheists.
Yes.
But you're out to everyone? Everyone knows?
Yeah, it's not really much of a discussion in my family. They're aware of it, but...
It's really, they're just like, okay, you do you.
Yeah.
Not you're going to burn in hell. You're lucky, man.
No.
Okay. My mother-in-law, every chance she gets, boy, she'll let me know I'm going to burn in hell.
There are some family members, extended family, that I've not really had that discussion with. It's just better to let that lie.
Random rapid-fire questions. We're going to try to keep your answer under a minute and a half each.
Okay.
But we just had Aaron Raw on earlier, so you know how that went. It wasn't, a minute and a half doesn't mean anything to him, which is great. Okay, here we go. What TV series are you currently binge watching?
Ooh, the one I just watched the last episode of is Peaky Blinders.
Yes. Was that season 3?
I believe they season 5 now.
Oh, geez, I have a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
And it's so hard. That's one you definitely, do you have to put on the closed caption?
I did for the first 3 seasons, and now I get it. I can.
Really?
Yeah, it took me a while though.
Well, if one practical thing you got out of watching TV is you can hear and understand, comprehend a thick Irish accent now.
Yes, and with my last name being Kelly, someday I should go back to the homeland,
the motherland.
and I'll be
yeah, I got so many
People
freckles.
here.
I'm right there with you. But I did that 23andMe, and we're out of France. And you would think, because I got the reddish hair, I got the freckles, you'd think Ireland. Nope, France. Weird. Okay. What is the most expensive thing you've ever broken?
Ooh, the most expensive thing I've ever broken. Let's see. I was visiting some friends in college, and I completely tore off the front axle of my car. So I would say that's probably the most expensive thing is my own car. Just completely. It was like one of those very sharp U-turns coming off of the highway, and I'm navigating or I'm driving, but my friend's navigating. I've never been in that part of the city before.
What did you clip it on?
It was basically I hit the curb as hard as possible and then skidded along it trying to turn. Yeah.
Oh.
And there was a girl that I was very interested in at the time. That's part of the reason I was going to visit, and that did not help my chances.
I took my truck over to Germany when we were there. We lived there a couple of years, and it's a big pickup truck. And some of those roads in the little hamlets, the little villages, they're cobblestone, and the lanes are like this. And I was going to an atheist convention in Cologne, Germany, and I was trying to get into the parking garage. It's an underground garage, and the thing raises up. And my truck was too wide to fit through the toll booth. And I went, I was like, I gotta park. I just, right down the door. It sucked.
I had this moment where I had to decide, was I going to try and just crank the wheel as hard as possible to make that U-turn and roll the car, or I just hit the brakes and I just bit it, because I was like, you know what, that's probably better safety for everyone.
Gosh.
No, everyone was fine though.
What's the funniest or the most fucked up joke you know by heart right now, off the top of your head?
Oh my gosh.
You want some time? I'll tell mine. If you want some time
you
to
tell
think.
yours.
You be mulling it over in your head.
Okay.
Let me think of one. Okay, this is really fucked up. Get your kids out of the room. All right, so this pedophile, he's in a overcoat, and he's got this little 9-year-old boy by the hand, and it's late at night. He's leading him into the woods. And the little boy looks at him and says, "Gee, mister, it sure is dark and scary in these woods." He goes, "You're scared. I'm the one that has to walk out of here alone."
Well, this is good to monetize.
Is it far enough in the video?
Oh yeah, true.
Oh man.
Do you think of one yet? Because I got another one.
I don't have anything. I'm freezing up on camera here.
That's all right.
I'm
If you think of one, we'll come back to this.
okay.
What would you find more credible? 2 people. One has a postgraduate degree in a semi-related field of study that you guys are currently discussing.
Okay.
It's not exactly pertinent to what you guys are talking about. He might be a astrophysics degree. He's got a master's or a doctorate in some sort of science, and you guys are talking evolution. Okay. So he's probably familiar with it, but it's not his field.
Okay.
Would you find him more credible, just on average, or somebody, an autodidact that has no training in that entire field at all, probably never even went to college, but has been studying for the last, on his own, 3, 4, 5 years, laser focused on the actual academia?
I'm gonna have to say probably, I don't know. I'm always inclined to believe, I guess, maybe the authority figure in that sense, which I would assume would be more like the postdoctoral. I mean, I would definitely have to take it with a grain of salt, but I would just assume that because they know how to take in research and learn about information and weigh evidence, that they might be a little bit.
Courtney's shaking her head, yes, yes, and yes.
But that's a tough one because,
Yep.
I mean, people don't necessarily have to have a certain topic as, you know, what they do for their, you know, life, you know, to pay the bills, you know, in order for them to be really knowledgeable about it.
And if it bolsters your all's case, the last person I asked this to was Dr. Zachary Moore, molecular biologist. He almost echoed word for word what you just said. So, but in counterpoint, I would choose Aaron Ra, who's an autodidact, over, Michael Behe, who actually has a major degree in, I think, biology, I believe, and of course he's an intelligent design proponent. So, you know, sometimes.
You know, there's also a personality aspect of it, and that's completely unrelated because someone may just believe that they know everything because they've been studying, and so they might be willing to say more than they really know. And I don't know, I might not see that as much with someone who's done a lot of studying. Yes.
Well, I'm just going to use your microphone. So I don't know. I think I kind of wanted to add on the flip side of that, of like the
She always does this.
I know, I do. I weigh in. But the other side of people who are kind of self-proclaimed experts, like, yes, Aaron Ra happens to know a lot, but I think he's a really critical thinking figure, as opposed to somebody else that might, you know, they say that they're really researched and they've studied this for a long time, but it might just be like Facebook memes or some shit. You know, like, you don't really know. They're not able to be verified what type of study they've done and how rigorous that study has been.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a mixed bag, I think.
Good. Like Michael Behe, how many published papers has he put out in, you know, on the topic?
I don't know who that is.
Peer reviewed. Well, he was. It's a long story. Anyway, do you know about the artificial general intelligence that people say that's a thing coming called the singularity, when AI will become fully aware?
Yes.
Like Terminator style, right?
Right.
Do you think it's going to happen, and will it happen in our lifetime, and should we be worried?
It won't happen in my lifetime, I don't believe. Is it something I think we should be worried about? Yes, because I believe that we will become, there's a high potential for us to become too complacent with technology, and I believe that there will be people who will still be able to use that AI kind of behind the scenes. I think that there could be an AI that's controlling our lives for the most part, but there could still be a person or people even behind that at another level potentially. So, I don't know,
Machine learning is exponential, and it could be equal to our intelligence one day, and we fall asleep and wake up the next day, and it's exponentially beyond anything we could imagine. Do you think an AI, if it were hostile or had motives against us, be able to turn off those safety valves and those little back doors, and there would be no people behind the scenes? They would shut those down.
If it's exponential, then I would think that they would be able to think that many steps ahead of us, and so that's really where the danger is. I really find it interesting, though, that we always go to the worst case scenario, to where it's going to be something that's going to be worse for us in the long term. I mean, even the movie, what's the Will Smith movie where they take over? iRobot. iRobot. You know,
iRobot.
They're taking over in order to take care of us, but we still perceive it as a threat because it takes away our autonomy. So there's always some version of it where it's seen as negative because we're no longer in control. We see it as a threat, even if it might prolong us indefinitely.
Lots of experts say even if their goals are aligned with us, that they could inadvertently cause our extinction. They have plausible scenarios in which AI is out to help us, and we end up still getting exterminated. I disagree with you there, Jason. I think it's going to happen in our lifetime. I think it's going to be bad.
Do you think that your one chance to survive would be to become like a synthetic bio-hybrid? Because I would totally be up for that, by the way.
Transhumanism. It's a huge deal.
I'm totally into that.
Where we become AI eventually, we start just incorporating cybernetics.
Yes.
I'm down, baby. Let's do it. Put the chip in me. Oh, easy. You're on a desert island. One book, one music CD, and one movie.
Ooh, let's see. One CD. The one CD would have to be something by Weird Al. I'm not sure which album, but it would have to be. I don't know. It's probably going to be Bad Hair Day. That's a tough one. Okay, and then what are the others? My favorite. One book. One
movie.
book. Ooh. Let's see. What's something that I would enjoy reading over and over? I really liked something like The Stranger because I think it would help me cope with my existentialism being stuck.
Who wrote that?
I can't even remember the name. Who wrote The Stranger?
I see the book cover.
No, it's not Camus.
I got it at the house. One of my family members.
I should know this because I
seen
said it's in the book I would choose.
Yeah.
You're on the spot. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it happens.
Anyway, look that book up. It's fantastic. It's about existentialism. If you haven't read it, I think it would,
It's fiction.
give you some perspective. Yes, it is fiction.
I'd rather read a washing machine manual.
No, it's the kind of book that they read in English class and like
Dissect the shit out of.
ninth grade. Yeah.
We're almost done, Terry. Okay.
And then what's the last
Movie.
item? Ooh, movie. Favorite movie. Probably like Drunken Master, the 1970s Jackie Chan movie. I love the
That's
old martial
right.
arts. The old martial arts movies.
We've been sitting here talking just random shit. I forgot we're both martial artists. Courtney already told me you're a martial artist.
Yes.
Let's just do 30 seconds on that. What do you have? What was it? Drunken Master. This is infighting. You could go kip blah blah blah. Wing Chun. It's all very infighting. It's all elbows and forearms.
So the style I've been training in for just over 10 years now is a style of Taekwondo. The system's called Yunhwa Ryu. I recently tested up to 4th degree black belt, and it is.
Could you do the splits right now?
I cannot do the splits all the way, but I'm surprisingly much more
Taekwondo
flexible.
guys are just like rubber bands.
I can kick way over my head though, like I can do that. So
Taekwondo,
tall people,
yeah.
watch out.
It's impressive. Yeah, the most impressive thing about Taekwondo is just the kicks.
Yes.
The power in the kicks. You see the Olympic level.
Yes.
Just the amount of power you can generate, and they're wearing the full armor, and they're still getting rocked.
I do have a very controversial view of Olympic Taekwondo because I feel like a lot of it, as cool as their kicks are, a lot of it is not really that useful, and I feel like real situations because you're not going to be standing there popping off kicks at each other with your hands down by your side like you're river dancing. Like that's not self-defense.
Yeah, you try to do Olympic style anything. Judo, Olympic judo, you could maybe win a fight with that, but not Taekwondo.
Yeah, a lot of the sparring that we do is like it's continual. So like some karate, like the old Karate Kid movie, right, where they have like the single point, first to hit. Ours isn't like that. We just will keep going for like a minute, 2 minutes, at a time, and it's about being able to continue to fight even if you've gotten hit. It's a more realistic scenario. And the cool thing about our system is that at the higher levels, once you learn all the basic Taekwondo stuff, we mix in a lot of other disciplines. So you've got Kung Fu, you've got some Judo, a little bit of Aikido, stuff like that. So it really makes you well-rounded. So for someone that knows Taekwondo, I'm learning a lot of like takedowns and submissions and joint locks.
There we go. Now we're talking. I'm a ground fighter, so anytime we're on our feet, that's foreplay. The real fight starts when we hit the ground. What's up?
I was going to ask what yours is. What your
Kempo, Kopo Jutsu, which is bone breaking and nerve pinching art. Ninjutsu, which is it's ninjas. Exactly. That's I say I'm a ninja to somebody and they go, what? Ninjutsu is an actual. Go ahead and laugh. It's all right.
No, just the way Atheist did it.
Oh.
I was like, what is it? He said the art of smothering people.
Everyone knows the international symbol for ninja.
And the fourth black belt is the Marine Corps martial arts program. Marine Corps has its own martial art. That's what I did for a living. I taught
I
it.
don't want to fight this guy.
Well,
He's gonna be really well
No,
rounded.
if we were the same size and weight, but size and strength makes a huge difference, especially when you're on the ground.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why a lot of martial arts is about,
That's why
not
there's weight
necessarily-
classes.
That's why a lot of it's not necessarily about like winning, but like neutralizing your opponent or being able to get away. I think about it as more defensive than me being able to, smash your face in right away. I mean, although that's an effective way to get away.
Hells yeah. Jason, thanks a lot for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for inviting me to this wonderful event.
And I have this funny feeling you're going to be back at our next recording session. This will already pass, but January 4th.
Are you a
You're
psychic?
invited back.
Because I'm going to have some strong views about that too.
I have some reasons why I think you're going to be at the next recording session. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.